From the floor of the CME Group, this is Danny Riley on today's Cash Close. What a week it's been. The name of this video, the Thursday-Friday Flunk-A-Dunk. The high of the day in the S&P came in at 1987.30 early in the day. The low came in at 1971.5 late in the day. And last, we're 1976 even. We're down 13 handles. Total volume is size. Now remember, a lot of this came from the S&P spread. We have 1.2 million SEP minis traded. We have 1.8 million DEES minis traded. And we've got 27,000 SEP and DEES big S&Ps traded in the pit. MOC, the MIM started showing 350 to 400 million to buy right away. It started popping up late in the day when the futures started, when the MIM started showing it to buy. The futures started popping up right away late in the day, and then it backed off a little bit. The MIM on the 245 cash close was showing 330 million to buy. The actuals came out MOC by 100 million. Not quite exactly what we expected. Now look, next week starts out with a total of 17 economic releases, 14 T-bill and T-bond auctions or announcements, and last but not least, and most importantly, the FOMC minutes and the September quad witch. It's going to be a very, very volatile week, I think. Now look, sell programs, index ARB sell programs dominated today's S&P index trade. I don't care what anybody says, that's what happened. As I tried to explain all week long, and I will admit, I've been off on my calls, but I've tried to explain throughout the week how the price action has changed, that whether the S&P is higher on the day on the open or lower, it goes right into us. All week long, we went right into index ARB sell programs. Today, the S&P did that, and it really, really never recovered. We had a couple of bounces, but really, for the most part, it was a very, very negative overtone to the markets, or whatever you want to call it. You can call it price action or whatever you say. Now, like I said, 4 out of the last 5 days this week, MOCs were all to the buy side. And additionally, sometimes what happens is middle of the month, which they call middle of the month rebalancing, which shows up on the 14th and the 15th, is showing somewhat to the buy side. So you'd think that the stock market would be doing a little better, but you know what? Seems to be a little bit of a black cloud over the S&P right now. The last thing is that, I want to say one last thing. Now, I don't want to count out the pit bulls Thursday, Friday low yet. And the reason being, and I'll explain this, is that a lot of these lows actually come late on Fridays. So all week long, I was trying to figure out when this low was going to come in. And really, I should have stuck to my guns knowing that it usually comes in late on Friday, if at all, at least this time around. I hate to disappoint, but you know what? This game's not over, and we'll pick it back up on Monday. One last thing. Please join the Randall List Options webinar tomorrow at 10 a.m. Central Time. I'm leading it off, and I'll be talking a little bit about the S&P. See you guys then.